But
like,
I just think
like,
sometimes don't you need like option
Yeah.
A and then option B
Well,
for like just the.
he's not for
baby, won't you
dating.
come through?
Do you know?
Come
okay, no, I mean,
through.
he's not like a serious option, is what you mean.
Well, yeah, like,
Shenanigans.
so now it's dating time.
Ah.
Okay.
But
You need to get on Hinge. That's
I was gonna
case.
say, if you
Get
But
on
the
Hinge.
problem
Tinder's not where
is,
you wanna
Well,
be.
so
yeah,
I was
yeah.
dipping my toe on
Girls
Tinder,
said different.
and what I was doing, all I was doing is spending my time winding up the catfishes.
Oh.
You know, they were
and
they
then
were
we started
actually.
using her.
Oh my god, they come in, they were like, move, man. I was like, well, why are you doing it though? Like, I was like, it's 2020, man, come on. And then he was like, Ginger Minga, and then unmatched me. I was like, bro.
No, I get on Hinge. Hinge is like
I got caught.
serious
Hinge is
candidates.
Is it though?
Yeah, honestly.
I just like, do you know, people just move in the maddest ways on there. I think it's, I don't know, it puts me off straight away. Some people are like, how many DMs do you get on Insta? I don't fucking know. Who's keeping track? And also, none of your damn business.
Who asked you that?
Just some random guy.
Do you know what's funny? Like, whatever answer you give them, they're not gonna like it. So
Yeah, zero. I get now.
I literally saw this
You're
girl
gonna
on
be
Twitter that was saying,
Mm.
oh my gosh, I don't know whether to break up with my boyfriend because he slides into loads of girls' DMs but no girls reply. No one wants him.
the embarrassment.
Can you believe that?
Oh, that's
Nobody
nice.
wants.
That's
She was
actually
like, no one wants him. I was
that's
like,
peak, you know.
That I actually like. Oh my god,
bit.
there's
Oh,
so
but this
many
is-
things to unpack in that little.
sorry,
that
did you,
little-
did you just say, I'd obviously break up with it? What?
Yeah, because what are you doing at other girls' DMs? But also,
Oh,
the
okay.
fact that nobody wants you is even worse.
Yeah.
Guys, we're all just toxic as each other, realistically, because there's actually no pleasing us.
The level of embarrassment for you as a woman in that situation is just tenfold. Like,
Literally.
hell no.
Okay, so guys, what we really wanted to chat about is girls shooting their shot. And the reason why I wanted to get you two on because I just know that you guys move a bit differently. from myself, because it's not something I'd do, but I've seen you firsthand, Kay. It was quite.
Do you know what? Like,
I
it's
rate
bullshit.
it. I
But that's
rate
what we
it.
mean. Like, we actually rate it, but we're just too much of a pussy to like
Not me, man.
enforce
I'm
the
not doing
system.
So
you
I will
know?
never forget. So it was me, Kay, and Kaycee at. Were we at Alchemist? And we were just chilling, and then Kay goes, she's like, just give me 1 sec. So I thought she was going up to use the bathroom.
We all thought she was going
So
up
she
to use
walked
the
up,
bathroom.
went towards the bathroom, and then sat down on another guy's table and went, so I've seen you looking at me, what's happening?
Basically.
And then I said to Kaycee, I was like,
my god.
Did you know him? And I was like, maybe she knows him. And I asked his mates, I was like, oh, do you know? They were like, no.
she just sat down
She
here.
just sat down. Yeah, she just sat down here. The fact that they spoke like that tells you the ethnicity of the man that she was chatting to. But we shan't unpack that today.
I was like, right.
Yeah, that was I think that was definitely landed in tag. 100%.
Tag. That was the first time I seen it. I was like, boy.
I didn't even know you like that, so at first I was just a bit like, rah. But then when I saw you do it sex, I was like, yeah, fair. Do you know what I mean?
See, my thing is, I think women, we limit ourselves to the options of the men that come to us, and I don't think that's a good idea. Because first of all, men are mad, number one. So it's better to choose the madness that you're going to appreciate in your life. So I think I think a lot of women are scared of rejection, and it's normal. But men have been shooting their shot for years by the time they get to, you know, a lot of our ages.
Yeah.
And so they've developed a tough skin. So if you get rejected, they don't even care. Like, it's just about who's going to reply and respond.
I don't think I could cope.
Like, I'm just
Sorry.
sitting here now, and you've just switched up my whole perspective on it. Is the fact that, yeah, we are sitting here waiting for
To be
whatever
chosen.
comes to us. And when I say I'm not good with rejection, right, I am not good with rejection. Even doing like street teaming and stuff for revs, like,
Girl said street teaming.
I'm sorry, I
Would you like to try
couldn't.
mini porn star martini?
Oh, you did that
bruh.
one?
No, I did the free shots because that's a sure thing. I
Yeah,
would not
free
ask
shots is
people.
definitely
There can't be a
nice.
question involved.
Yeah, I know, just
Like,
free
here, have
shots.
some free shots.
Free shots here.
We're
definitely
situated
better.
over there, sort of thing. I can't take that rejection.
You don't want the possibility of a no.
Do you?
I don't think I can build myself up again.
Do you only shoot your shot at once you know like there's a green light? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, no.
Because I feel like compared to men can blindly shoot their shot and just like, you know, whatever sticks. That's how I go about it.
Flinging off
Yeah,
mud.
flinging. They're like, whatever sticks, we'll go with that. Whereas I feel like with girls, you only shoot your shot because it's clear that the person is like looking at you or at it or that sort. So you never blindly shoot your shot.
Definitely
Do you
not.
get what I mean?
That's very reckless. That's
reckless.
Men are mad. So no, you have to. I think some people are a little bit shy and a little bit reserved. So you can tell when somebody's attracted to you by if they're looking at you or if they're kind of moving closer to you. Just body language when you read it. So yeah, I think I've never blindly shot my shot. Definitely not. I've like mistaken things, maybe mistaken signals, and thought, oh damn, maybe he wasn't into me. But I've never like,
just kill me.
It's random.
But I feel like you also have to be really feeling yourself. You know, when you're out and you're like, yes.
Yeah, you have to feel
you'd never shoot your shot.
But
if you
even
weren't,
then,
like,
the
at that
alcohol
level.
can skew that. Like, do you know what I mean? I might be out here
God.
feeling myself, but looking like a hot mess. Like,
literally a tag.
I'm not prepared for that. When you look over those pictures the next morning, I'm like, wow. I was actually out here speaking to people in this stage.
And getting surprised why I'm not actually being successful because you looked like that. Literally.
So Kaycee, do you not shoot your shot at all?
Okay, so in like actual, so say example out, no, I wouldn't count it as shooting your shot, if that makes sense.
So you wouldn't go up to a guy and be like, just go for it?
No, I would not come up. This is my version of shooting a shot. So I would wait until the scenario looks natural enough for me to be next to them, and then if I know, like, I'm not going blindly, like if I know they're kind of like interested and whatnot, and I just be like, what are you drinking? Sort of, if I know that's the environment, if that makes sense. So like, oh, what are you drinking? I'm like, usually tequila, and tequila's always like oh, you're on tequila, yeah. Tequila's what you're on,
We
yeah.
know what type of
Which
guys
also
you
tells you the sort of men I attract. Thank you very much. So I think that's attractive. I'm just like, yeah, but I feel like it's only because
To me though, that's still shooting your shot, because that's
yeah,
minor
a little
movements.
bit.
That's minor
A little
movements,
bit,
though.
because
That's strategic positioning.
I was actually going to say that,
There's
you
a
know.
very big difference between. And
I
I
agree.
preach.
Strategic.
I
I was literally going to say that is such a preach. Such a preach.
Got a word for us today, okay?
Ruth and Boaz thing, that's mad.
But I think if you can get used to strategically positioning yourself, you can get to the point where you can shoot a shot.
Yeah.
You just need to practice.
But
I'm not doing that.
It's putting yourself out there, though, isn't it? You've got, like, it's not one if you want to protect your ego. Like,
yeah.
that's some vulnerability that I don't know if I'm, like, prepared for, you know?
I feel
And it doesn't seem like it, because, don't get me wrong, I'm not, like, I can be shy, but usually if there's alcohol involved, I'm not shy. But I still would not be putting myself out there. I'm the sort of person, I'm going to shoot you a look, and then that's it.
You need to listen to
We'll see what
that's
happens.
it, just the look, that's
But
it.
this is changing my perspective.
Add a strategic
A look
position,
normally
I
is
think.
enough. A look and a smile, that's enough.
I'm literally one of those, I'll just sit there and the rest is up to you. The fact that I'm there is giving you an opportunity.
I would never know if you were, if I was a guy, I would never ever know if you were interested. So you'd be sat there and they'd be like, did you not tell I'm interested?
A lot of
Did you not tell
Completely
I'm
going to
interested?
change
And
your
you've not
face.
done anything?
You're not doing
Somebody literally said to me the other day, she goes, oh, I wouldn't know whether I'd be able to shoot my shot with you or not. And I was like, haha.
You see? So
In
you're not
it.
even giving them an opening.
Give them
No,
something.
Give them a little
No,
bit.
that one, I didn't want them to.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
I mean.
That's fair
But
enough.
I probably would respond like that anyway.
Okay, but then let's say we were out, right? And there was a group of guys, like, you know, really good looking, they're spending money, so we know that they are good vibes.
My type.
Important.
Very.
And obviously all four of us are chilling, and you know they're looking over, but they're not coming over. So would you not think, okay, like let's go, like,
I think
Me,
we
I'd
said
send
we
you.
just said
I
it
would
you,
send-
literally.
I'd be like, off you go, mascot.
Okay.
Get him out.
You had to do it.
would one of you not come with me?
No.
Do you know what?
No.
I'll come with
I know
you,
you
but
would.
I'm coming as the like just like the funny friend. I'm not even. I'm just like, I'm literally here for moral support. Like, I'm not really here for anything.
My life's goal is to minimise embarrassment. And
Yeah.
I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
That ain't it.
That's your
That
brand.
ain't it.
No, I agree. But do you think that's come like the older you've gotten? If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Because I'm
'Cause-
a couple of years older than you.
Yeah. So I reckon like now I'm 22. I just don't know if that's something I'm comfortable in doing yet. Whereas I feel like maybe the older you get, the more like comfortable you are in yourself. So maybe that's where it's like rooted in.
I don't know, because I'm at the stage, right, where I'm getting too comfortable with my own, like, being in my own space. Like, I'm quite happy being alone. Like, you need to be adding something extra to my life for me to even bother wasting my time. So I'm literally quite happy to sit there and then go and enjoy my day with my girls without having even, like, to speak to a guy, acknowledge a guy, whatever, because, I mean, we be out here just dancing, drinking, doing our bit. I don't go out to see boys.
No.
If I see someone that's attractive, I think I'm getting too comfortable to just let it walk on by. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's my issue with going on with age.
Yeah.
Whereas when I was younger, I probably would have just, like, it would have been more strategic positioning, like dancing or whatever, like near or going to the bar at the same time or whatever. But as time's going on, I'm literally more like, I'm gonna step back and just see what's going on. But, like, I feel a bit shook up about this whole accepting what's coming to you.
Exactly.
That's madness.
Do you not slide into men's DMs? That's not the way I want to describe it. Do you shoot your shot in DMs? Because that I can comfortably do.
Yeah, that's fine. Because if you're doing what, you can just block them.
No, but
No.
wait.
Whoa! Hold up, partner.
Wait,
Hold up, partner.
Before we explore that point, what is the difference between shooting your shot virtually and in person?
You can't
it's
see
literally,
the
it's
sweating.
virtually. Do you know what it is? Because you can replying to a story.
I'm comfy.
Do you know what it is?
That's
Then-
so easy.
Do you know what the best way to describe it is? The entry point is a lot easier.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So
Replying to a story.
replying to a story. I would never
Reacting.
blindly go into someone's DMs. Are you mad? But I would reply to a story. I'd be like, or a song, or just something that's normal to reply to, not you like posting up your
Not
mum.
that I've done it, but I think it would be easier. Far easier.
I get what you're saying, but you guys are opening up like a normal conversation. When you actually see somebody in person, you can, if you can read their body language and you can see their eye contact, you can tell if somebody's feeling you. So virtually, how do you know somebody's feeling you if they're not really?
You know,
interacting
because
with you, or
But still, the
it's a
difference
story
when
on your
you're
mind.
doing it virtually, you can start it up as an open conversation. If I'm talking about that alchemist example, you literally sat down saying you were staring at me, what's going on? Do you know what I mean? I'd never say that on
Guys, I'm not
DM.
usually that way.
Just to clarify.
But I was, very intoxicated. But yeah, no, I still feel like if you're replying to somebody's story, you're opening up just like a normal conversation, and then you're still shooting your shot because you don't know if they're gonna respond in a certain way. So is it just because you're scared in public that you'll be seen to doing it, and there's like a rejection that will be seen by everybody else, or because in the DMs obviously it's just you two, like you said, you can block.
yeah,
them.
I can
Is
take
that
the
what
L
the
in
issue is?
private, basically.
You can also delete the message. these
Yeah, it
days.
didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Honestly,
You're
I
against
can
mine.
genuinely make that moment disappear.
Because you guys care too much about what people think.
Yeah.
And
I don't delete messages unless it's me, like, I've done a
I'm so
voice
mature.
note and I'm like...
Take your time, girl.
No,
Yeah,
but
necklace.
I just can't. Can you just imagine this, right? You going up to a guy.
I can't even. I've got Gaviscon in my bag.
I
I can't even.
Genuinely, you going up to a guy or strategic positioning and you chatting and you're just like, oh, imagine me going, oh, what you drinking? He's just like, yeah.
It's
like,
mad though, because when
nothing
guys
much.
aren't about it, they find it funny, and they're with their mates who will also find
And
it funny.
It's just long, man.
Mate, I can't.
It's too much.
But
It's like you
guys
said,
have to put up with that from girls actually at a more ruthless rate too, if we're going to be fair.
That is true. That is
And you
true.
know how dismissive we can be.
that's
Yeah.
not my problem. That's not my problem. Thank you to patriarchy for that, because
Do you know what I mean? Complaining about a society that you created.
that you created. That's not my problem. I'm sorry. I refuse.
Nah,
to
I
take
disagree.
responsibility for that.
That's funny, but I can't, mate. I can't run with that.
That's just not my problem. I'm so sorry. I just like that you
But-
created this environment where you wanted to make it seem like men should be the one to approach women and they're the ones to go first. So I'm merely just.
I half agree with that argument. I do half agree with that, because when guys do clap back at women when they say like, oh, like, I prefer if a guy approaches me, that is stemming from the patriarchy that men created. So you can't at women. It takes a lot of untraining on both sides for all of this to work. And like I always say, like, bringing down the patriarchy helps both sides.
Yeah, that's true.
It honestly does help both sides. They'd have less pressure. We'd feel less entitled. It'd all be great for everyone. Obviously, we're fighting men every step of the way for the most part to even try and bring down the patriarchy because they do benefit from it. And I get that. I feel that. However, that's not my problem.
However,
like you say, it's not my problem.
I don't think if I did, for some unbeknown reason, if push really came to shove, shot my shot
to
at
your
the
head.
yes. I honestly don't think a guy would laugh. Do you know what I mean? If they weren't about it, I don't think they would. I don't think they would react like that. Girls are more likely to react like that. Like think it's a massive joke, tell their mates. But guys, I don't think they'd do that.
I think we've also got to remember, and this is going to be hella controversial, because I think you've got to be self-aware of yourself and know like where you stand in terms of like your market value.
Oh,
so, like,
that's some harsh truths you've got to look at.
Ooh.
Bride price hefty.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I think not to say that you can't believe in yourself and you've got to be beautiful, but like you have to be like fitting an eccentric standard of beauty that's like, you know, you're eccentric or whatever. But I think that you should be able to be comfortable enough in your own skin to know that this is what you look like, love it regardless, and know that there's certain people that might not respond to you in a certain type of way, right? And that's why men are mad, because like you said, they shoot across, they just want to see where it sticks. But as a woman, especially if you want to avoid embarrassment, you just have to be able to learn how to read people's body language, read eye contact and stuff like that, so you can avoid those types of levels.
But also, by the same merit, it should be easier for women because men shoot so many shots. They're less picky.
The likelihood of a man rejecting you as an averagely good-looking
on the
also said to Hannah,
the first off, they're less picky, but then obviously they can have their ick with certain things.
I also said to Hannah though, the girls who are more likely to shoot a shot are really, really attractive, so that's why it's always successful. Do you know what I mean? So girls who shoot,
it's alright,
honestly.
Well, it's either that or like dead girls that have been gassed. Like there's no in between realistically.
But the girls that are successful, do you know what I mean?
Like it follows through basically.
But this is what I always say is the problem. So like growing up, when you know when puberty's done the wonders in it. Like I feel like I'm one of those people where puberty helped me out a little bit. It's not necessarily done the wonders, but like it's definitely helped the girl out.
Don't worry.
Like it's good. It's good for me. I'd rather it be that way because I spent time perfecting my personality. Do you know what I mean? Like I believe in my personality more than anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I think most people should do that. And I always say people are entitled to what they want, and I think everyone should get what they want because there's that many people on this planet. There should be someone for everyone.
Yeah, I agree.
But it is one of those you put most of the barriers in yourself.
Exactly.
I'm a classic self-sabotager. I'd rather just like not put myself out there, not do anything like that, and live my happy life with myself in my bubble, doing what I do.
Have you actually experienced rejection though?
Yeah.
Can we talk about it?
Yeah, like have you?
Yeah, this is your time.
No, because I'm only asking that because I don't know if I've like explicitly been. Do you get what I mean? The sort of rejection.
Wow.
Not even like that. Don't even try. Like not like not like that. I'm just trying to think like.
Not
from shooting my shot. Because as I said, I don't do it.
I'm talking about just like in romantic situations.
Yeah, so
have you been rejected to the point that, or it's happened that you fear it so much happening again?
Yes, I feel like anybody who's been broken up with will probably be like, oh, a bit no. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I'm a bit like, I don't know. I don't think that'd affect it though, but like I think just generally for me, it is my standard. Like I spoke about this on the toxic femininity episode. Like as awful as it is, it's not my job to shoot my shot to you. It's not my job. Just like I'm not going to lift that over there. Just like I'm not going to take up. That's not my job.
But it's not your fault that you feel like that. I'm not upset at that statement. You made it. They made it, so it's not your job. So, I merely just.
You won't see on my CV ever.
We won't go down that route again.
Yeah.
It's true, but it doesn't mean that we can't be better.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
You know what, Hannah, this is the thing, right? People need to start taking accountability because if you can see that there's an issue, you're complaining about, oh my god, men are trash. Oh my god, why are there so many useless men? But you're not actually actively trying to widen your scope of men by either strategically positioning yourself or either shooting your shot. do you really care about the struggle that men are supposedly trash?
Do you know when you feel personally attacked?
Honestly, I've always said, yeah, you attract what you give off. So at the end of the day, if you're
Don't, because it's not adding up then.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's not adding up.
I don't know. Put the brakes
Because,
on that one.
Like one of my best mates, she was like, "Oh my gosh, like." She has a type, like box. Like I can walk down the street if I see a guy that is her type, I text say, "Oh," because I know what her type is.
Right.
And then she was like, "This is not working out for me." But I'm like, "You haven't." Do you know what I mean? You've just stayed in that lane. So I'm like,
What sort of guys are you attracting?
what?
Yeah, what do you mean by like you're
Yeah.
attracting the people that?
So like the
You
energy
put out
that
what you
you put
attract.
out
Yeah.
matches somebody else's energy.
Oh,
Okay.
right, okay.
So if you've got a certain man that may be moving mad, are you moving mad?
Oh,
But no,
okay.
do you know what? I
Okay.
think, because what you said was a bit mad, I'm not gonna lie, Estelle, but we're gonna clarify it. Everybody kind of went, woo.
Because we were triggered.
I think if you go into dating and you haven't fully like understood yourself and you haven't started giving yourself proper self-love, you're gonna attract men who are gonna probably take you for dickhead.
Yeah.
I think what you mean by that kind of energy, because it's not necessarily reciprocate energy. It's just
No.
it's almost like a balance. If
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have
yeah.
low self-esteem, then somebody's gonna come in and
Yeah.
you know,
People who are aware of that will latch onto that.
Exactly.
So whatever you're like putting out there, other people can see that and then go for. Do you know what I mean?
But that's
Yeah.
a difficult one to unpack though, because, for instance, I literally will go out. Again, like I said, not really look for guys. They're not really on my agenda for the day. Like my
Yeah.
agenda is having a bop,
Literally.
dancing, getting drunk, having a good time,
Good vibes.
making good memories. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's what I'm always out for.
Keep pick if you're lucky.
But
Like-
the people that come to me, the things they say sometimes, you're like, why are you literally trying to like talk dirty to me at a bar where I'm literally not even giving you a signal for it? Like,
You get it quite
and
a lot, though,
and
I'm
I
not gonna
don't
lie
think
to
I
you.
give off that vibe
You
at
don't?
all.
But no, do you know what it is? It's not that you give off that vibe. It's because you're an attractive girl, and attractive girls attract all kinds of men.
But that's
the
why I'm
ones who
saying
are
this.
brazen enough to come and talk to you
like-
like that are the ones who. This is why I'm saying you specifically. We need to talk about shooting your shot, because I think you do have. No, but it's true. You specifically, we'll talk about it. Estelle, we'll come bring you in as soon as possible. But specifically, because of the mad things that guys say to you, I think for you it's important to start actually going, do you know what, I need to cultivate or start trying to like create spaces for certain types of men to come into my life.
Like,
Because-
because it just puts me off. I'm like, if this is what men are out here saying, I'm not interested. I will say right there and then, like, are you actually leading with this? Like,
Yeah, that's nice.
keep it moving.
But
Do you know
that's
what I
not got
mean?
nothing to do with you per se. It's just because you're beautiful. That's
But
what it is.
this is why I'm saying you attract you attract what you give out. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't think that's necessarily
That's why I need to
always
clarify what
true.
she said.
Yeah.
Are
'Cause
you
you can look
upset?
at two
Not
ways.
upset. Maybe that's not the word. Are you ever? Are you surprised? Are you upset by the sort of men that you attract? To everyone. What? Think about it on like an average when you've been on a night out.
I'm not.
Or are
surprised.
you ever
surprised.
surprised or whatnot by the sort
So the
of?
face that I'm giving off now
Yeah.
is the face that I have. Yeah, when I'm out.
And what sort of guys do you attract as a
Like-
result of that?
I'm sure to you right now look thoroughly unimpressed.
Yeah. I'm asking what sort
She's
of guys do
sitting
you
neutral.
attract
That's
from that?
why.
You must attract brave men because.
Yeah, we literally. That's
Lol.
what, like.
You know what? I actually didn't even think it like that.
Like,
'cause
think
I'm-
about it.
I actually
because
didn't think it like
if
that.
you're
Like,
sat
good
there
look,
looking
bruh.
stush like that, you know these boys are like, I know she looks stush, yeah? But just go over, just go chat to her, I promise you're fine.
They've
when
psyched
you-
themselves up for
Hype
it.
you up, like,
Yeah,
"Come on,
yeah.
you
I know the man them that I come to chat to you, I'd get psyched up before they come over
yeah.
because they're like,
But
I feel
you've
really
got to
bad
keep in
now.
mind.
What an arsehole.
Drunk
I'm
Estelle.
an awful person. Oh my god.
You've got to keep in mind, Drunk Estelle is different.
Oh my god,
oh
She's
my god,
different.
actually,
That's actually true.
She gets
You
a little
are a
bit
little
wild,
bit-
like
once
she'll
you
be
hit-
out busting
you're a
and
bit more
move.
carefree.
It's true.
And you smile a lot more.
Yeah, you definitely smell a lot more.
Yeah.
When she was literally like screaming songs in at people in
Yeah.
tag, like that's Drunk Estelle. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh my gosh, I did love that song.
You
though.
don't always hear like
No, it was a good song.
Shout out to
there was a
DJ.
good few. There was a good.
And what was hilarious, the song, I swear the song was a cappella too.
Yeah.
No, like there was no music. There was no music.
You could
to
hear
it.
Estelle.
I think I know what
It was a duet. It was me and the
and the track.
It was something.
Well,
I honestly didn't think of it like that. Now I feel very, very bad.
it's alright. You grow from it. You
that's
learn.
the
You
thing.
know what? Yeah, do you know what I mean? This is a learning curve.
You don't need to feel bad about it because you were unaware. That's the thing.
That's
now
even
you
worse.
know you got
Living in ignorance for
accountability
24
it.
years.
Yeah.
That's mad.
What about you, Hannah? Are you ever surprised? I'm personally never surprised by the man you attract.
Yeah,
But I
I'm
just say it's not your fault.
Yeah,
It's
so I'm like,
you're the one
Yeah.
person I can generally say it's not your fault.
when
that
we
you
were at
attract that sort of
Tag,
man.
I was like, I feel like Hannah is here for all these man's entertainment.
Yeah.
It's rude,
It's
isn't
not,
it?
but that is not your fault. But
That's not your
however,
fault. No.
It's sometimes it's stress. Like it's stress. You know when you can just be like having a good time or whatever, and someone comes like
yeah.
cuts your vibe right up. That's what gets
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Like no one invited you into my space. I weren't looking at you. I weren't doing nothing.
You were never looking at
No, you
mine.
never.
You were
Yeah,
ever.
yeah,
And
yeah.
they beeline to you. Like, literally, I'm like,
But like they come with nothing of substance.
yeah.
Like
and they
that's
get
what
upset
fucks
when
me
you're
off.
like, yeah, I agree.
And
Just
like
bravado and
I think-
audacity.
I think sometimes with guys they get infatuated by the idea of you
Of course.
and not who you are.
He's
And like
talking
for someone who prides themselves on their personality and what like I'll rip myself to shreds before anyone else can rip myself to shreds and build myself back up before anyone else can bring it up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I like the self-improvement, I like the self-awareness. But other people, they don't have time to even look at that. They're like literally too busy trying to grab a piece of ass or
Yeah.
like
But that's men in general, though. I think there's this saying that women we look for love, men accidentally fall in love because they're usually looking to be. That's the truth. If we're keeping it, but they're looking to. You know, they don't know, they're not trying to fall in love, right? There's very few men who openly admit that they're looking for relationships with women. So I think they are visually, trained to just look for beautiful women. So when they look at you, they're just gonna think, okay, yeah, like Insta baddie. Do you know what I mean? Like that's who she is.
and then
you've,
go
like,
on my
spent
Insta, it's bare. You'll find
Do you
nothing
know what I
here.
mean? Bear in mind, you spent bare time on, like you said, throughout your uni or high school years, like having your personality become something that's so important to you. So, yeah, it's not a you thing, it's them.
But it's madness, and I feel like you saying that at the start of this, being like you're closing yourself off to people because you're not shooting your shot. But oh my god, that's a whole new level of being out there.
I feel like it's one of those. I feel like if you shoot your shot and it goes well once, automatically you've
all
entered
of
the
this,
part.
all of
Do you
this
know what I mean?
false
There's no going back,
confidence that it'll
basically.
build.
Honestly, the world is yours.
What about you,
No,
Kay?
but yeah, no, like, I think. Don't get me wrong. Remember I talked about like market value. I like to think, do you know what? I'm a good-looking girl. Like I'm not like the most amazingly beautiful girl, but I know that I have a really good personality. I know what I bring to the table. So like,
I'm happy being
If I-
average with a good
Do you know what?
personality. Like that's my
It
bad.
doesn't
Cracking
bother me.
personalities there,
Yeah. So it's never. I try, especially in the beginning, because I can't remember times I've been rejected because it's not been that often, to be fair, because I'm able to see somebody's body language, so I don't really shoot.
But I think
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
appreciate that you're making the move.
Yeah,
to be honest
Exactly.
with you.
I think they like that confidence. So yeah, it doesn't phase me anymore, and I don't think it would phase me if I got rejected. But I would obviously be like, oh wait, why did I read that situation wrong? Like, what was I seeing?
Okay.
But yeah, it's I think it just takes a bit of time to just be happy with yourself and just who you are. Like I'm getting to that stage where I'm like, this is who I am, this is me. If you don't accept that, then let's move on. There's somebody else who's gonna love me for me. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
What about you, Kaycee?
I'm surprised about the sort of people I attract.
Or unhappy, or happy, or.
Do you know what? Okay. So. Okay, please. Okay, so the sort of people I attract, I know I attract them because I'm like a direct opposite of what they are, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
why I put on like that roadman voice is because if you don't know me
Yeah.
and you just look at me aesthetically and you look at my Instagram,
Yeah.
I think I look like a nice girl, sort of
Yeah.
girl you could bring home to your mum, like just a nice girl. I'm not saying I'm not a nice girl, but I'm not that sort of nice girl. So I just look
Yeah,
like
I know
a
what you
clean
mean.
cut sort of nice
Yeah,
girl. So because it's a direct opposite of the sort of girls that they've been around or whatever, it's like it's there's a thrill in the challenge, and then I open my mouth and they realise actually she's not.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised about the like initial sort of people that I attract anymore. I used to find it like quite insulting, because I used to be like, what sort of girl do I think these road men can come and chat to? But now I get it. I'm just like a direct opposite. And then other than that, I do probably attract quite what's the word? Maybe like obnoxious is the best way to describe it. But I don't know why that is. Just because sometimes I think I give sometimes your energy.
So I'd say I'd get the same sort of guys as well.
A bit of like just and I'm trying to think of like the people that I've seen previously when I first met them. They come with like obnoxious energy because I think I give off a very guard up vibe. There we go. So
which is fair because there are people that call me stush. There are people that have called me stush.
I think there's a difference between stush and guard up though.
I don't set out to be stush, just like you don't set out to be stush. But
for me,
other people,
maybe that's just like from where I'm from. Stush to me is literally like you think you're too good. But I don't think.
I don't think
I'm like you like that. No. The guard up would be the right way.
But that's what other people see.
That's what other people translate me just being quite a guardy person as being stush. So I think sometimes that's why I attract quite obnoxious people, because they're like, nah, like you're not gonna be like, I'm gonna get your guard down.
It's like a challenge.
It's a challenge, and that's why I said when you said like a lot of guys that I typically meet love the idea of me. They love the idea of a confident girl, knows who she is, but in reality, like, can you handle someone like that? Because you're not sure in yourself, sir. So you love the idea.
Don't trigger them.
No, you love the idea. You're like, that's the sort of woman I want. But realistically, look at your character and who you are. Does it make sense? And typically no. And then that fills out really quickly, because you will probably find that out about me within like the first 2 conversations. I'm not on that BS. So good luck in it. Whoever wants to come into my life.
Literally.
Honestly,
know what it is.
You guys made me realise like the next guys that approach me, I'm just gonna give him a hug.
Yeah.
Well done, sir.
I'm actually just gonna give him a hug.
I never attract nice guys.
Actually will.
It's never like I sometimes like, why don't you just like nice like
I'm gonna mark this day.
I don't think I attract like the sweet.
Are you serious?
Sweet boy. No, I don't think I do.
No, I just don't think
you
you give them the time. That's the thing. I sometimes I was like, I don't think there's a type of man that I haven't attracted, and I genuinely believe if you look at all the men that you've attracted, and the ones that you've given time to probably have been the obnoxious ones. You probably have had sweet boys, but you've not given them that much time to get to know that they were sweet, because they probably came off in a way that you were like, oh, you're simping.
Because bearing in mind, just as you like may give off a certain vibe, they might give off that certain vibe.
Yeah,
so
true.
Time to get to know them.
That's mad.
It's
guys,
hard,
I've learned so much.
It's actually one of those you gotta go home and sit, be like, rah.
I'm
what have I
honestly
been
just sit on my
doing?
bed like,
all right then,
I do think I have a nice sense of self-awareness though. I don't think I am one of those girls that thinks I haven't got stuff to work on myself as an individual. And I do sometimes think like girls of like kind of our age range just think, have that attitude like, well, I bring the whole table. You don't.
Girls who say they are the table.
Let me just make it very clear.
I
you
am
don't.
the table.
At
I've never
most a
understood.
leg. Like you've got a lot of work to do in yourself, and I just don't think those are the sort of
like,
girls.
but those are people that are just like, they know they're attractive and good on them for self-love, right?
But then again, you've also got those
never
girls
get
who probably don't feel like
complacent.
that, but they're
Well,
There's
overcompensating
always
for them.
something to learn. There's always something to work on.
Of course, but guys, we already mentioned the fact that patriarchy created this system where men have to now come and approach women. The system has also been created that women's market value is to do with our appearance. So the reason women hold so much stock in their appearance
100%,
so much. Think about the fact that we have Insta women now who get surgery, can get become like have this Instagrammer influencer status that is almost like celeb status because it gets people to give them money, whether that's OnlyFans, whether that's signing with big brands,
And it's aesthetically.
it's aesthetics, but that's
pretty
because
privilege,
of pretty privilege, right? But who leans into
Pretty
that?
privileged.
That's mad.
created
It's a
that?
thing.
But
though.
do you know what aggs me though? So you can have conversations with lads and say, people have done the Tinder experiment. You can sit there both, a man and a woman both sit there and swipe right for everyone. I know I'm swiping left here, but swipe right for everyone. And the woman will naturally get more. And they're like, oh, guys might sit there and have the view, that's not fair. This is really a knock to my confidence. But girls have to put up with the way that men come in the DMs objectifying straight from the bat.
Yeah, the approach.
Putting this idea that they've got a view on you, and that's not your responsibility. That idea that they have of you is not your responsibility. But sometimes people don't even care to get to know, and I think that is the maddest thing. Like, for guys that can sit there and get that knock to their confidence in the initial stage, women have to sit there and get the knock to the confidence that guys don't really care what they have to say. Like, it doesn't really matter what you're on. It doesn't really matter what your vibe is. They've seen a picture of you. They've seen what your face looks like, your body looks like, whatever, and that they only want one thing sometimes. And I'm not saying it's across the board. It's not always like that. But that's the problems that women have to face, and it is two-sided. But you can both sit there and be like, the grass is greener or whatever. But if no one's taken steps, like you say, to try and break those situations down, then fair enough, we're all just sitting there moaning for no reason. But it is hard. Like, it's hard. This is an ingrained system for a reason. Like, since
it's really
the dawn
weird
of time.
that you said that though, because like for me, all my experience of guys that like slid into my DMs, they've never come across like that ever.
Really?
They've always been really, really nice and really, really complimentary, like genuinely.
Fuck.
So like, I honestly, I believe what you're saying, because I know guys do that, and I've seen when guys have like moved mad like that in your DMs. But like for me, like genuinely, the guys have been so nice. But then again, like at the same time, I guess it is face value what they're looking at. So like all my Insta pics, they're always me smiling, whereas like I don't smile that much in real life.
That's the contrast.
Which is mad.
That's
because
hilarious.
I don't smile that much in real life. Not that I don't think life's fun, because it is. Like 2020 is a bit of a madness, but we'll get through it. But on my Instagram, it's always me like, Joe, when you're like, like proper leaning in. So like everyone's honestly
the same.
They're so nice. They're never rude. They're never obnoxious. They're like, and I'm like, usually, cause for me, I'm not about. I'm not about responding to guys in DMs that I don't know. So that's why I shut it down, because I'm like, if I don't know you from Adam and I've never met you, like for me, like for me personally, I just don't. I'd rather speak to you in person rather than be messaging people over the internet, because like
this is why I say I sit in the middle, because I used to be like that. Like, I don't know you, I don't owe you a reply, I don't owe you nothing. Because one, I don't like being on my phone, and if we start off a whole conversation, then I'm gonna feel obliged to like respond or whatever. And like, I don't like sitting there. I like being present in the moment. Don't like sitting there on my phone or whatever if I can help it. However, I do give people the time, like, and I will say, like, if someone sends me a compliment and it's nice and whatever, I will comment back and be like, oh, thank you, like, bit of an emoji situation.
Manners.
Like, you know, literally manners.
Literally.
But, so in that sense, I do give a little bit of time. The ones that, like, persist on the conversations are always the obnoxious ones. And always the ones that just want to, like, come at you with some, like, underlying sexual energy.
That is so interesting that you said that they persist as well, because like the guys who are just like, oh, just to let you know, I think you're really beautiful, you've got a nice smile, and I'm like, oh, thanks, and they leave it at that. They leave it at that. Whereas the guys who are moving mad, they keep daggering, where the other guys they're just like, you know what, I'm
the obnoxious ones, because
it's mad.
They literally, men like that, right? If they're so used to getting their way from that behaviour.
Mate, they're fuming.
Until, like, they're at their wits' end. Until they're like, rah, I really can't do it. It takes, like, extremeness for them to stop. But because they're typically used to... Obnoxious men are typically used to women pandering to them. Exactly. So when they get a girl that's not pandering to them, it rattles them. Yeah. And... I ain't pandering to no one.
But they like it more. That's a challenge. They step up to a challenge or whatever. But for me, it's one of those things where, like... I think I don't tend to go for nicey guys, what people that people would typically call nice.
Yeah, same.
Because I am, the way my sense of humour is, the way that I am, I'm quite like, I'm witty, but I'm a little bit harsh. I don't mean anything, and if someone was upset, I'd be devastated. But
same.
I'm quite like a challenger. I am a challenger.
I agree.
So I need someone to keep up with that energy, but also not be like obnoxious, horrible.
It's hard to find
because
the balance for that, I think.
Because I think I've spoke, like, when I've actually ended up speaking to someone, I always end up with people that don't want to compliment you. So I'm uncomfortable with compliments now because I don't know how to deal with it, because I always end up speaking to guys or being involved with guys. We live in the same
life. We just compare DMs.
I love a good compliment.
I don't know how to deal with it. I'm like, oh, I'm jarred.
Like, if you don't tell me I'm beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay,
But like, I would like it, but now I've got to the stage in my life where I've dealt with so many men that don't really like it. The best I used to get probably is like, oh, who you seeing looking like that? And that's when I knew that I looked nice. And that's what I had to take from it. But I was fine with it. I was like, whatever, this is just normal. Well, apparently it's not normal.
No, it's not normal. And also, I don't want people to think that like, oh, I live for people's validation or compliments like that. But I think when you
but if I look nice,
someone,
tell me I look nice.
To tell them. And also, do you know what upsets me about men like that is that they know they've got a beautiful woman and they don't want to gas you because they don't want you to feel it so that other men...
How horrible is that?
That's obviously
that's outrageous.
I can understand it though. I can't understand that.
I mean, I can, but also it's not right because if you have a beautiful partner and you think they're beautiful, you should be able to...
100%.
You shouldn't want to kind of like... I think some men date beautiful women in the hopes of almost like saying, right, I've got you now, therefore I'm going to kind of bring your status down. You're not going to be as beautiful as everybody else, but I've got you. I know you're beautiful. We're going to try and like play it down for you now so that you're not as confident, so that you don't attract those other men so I can keep you forever.
That's mad.
Not acceptable.
That could be sick.
That's not good for your mental health. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To feel yourself. And obviously you can feel yourself, right? The self-love comes from you, but if somebody that you're with that's meant to be your partner that's supposed to
it's deliberately downplaying
because more often than not you're going out, right? You don't care what any guy out there is thinking. You want that guy at home that you're going home to be like...
I kind of agree with what you said. Like I've been with guys, it's not that they in person very complimentary. Like if I've gone to see them, whatever, they come to be like, oh baby, you look nice, you look beautiful, but they never reply to the story. Never reply to the story.
Okay.
And you're having a bit too much fun.
Like literally, they never reply to the story. And when you are getting to know someone and you like them, realistically, that's the reply you care about. Not all these voice man going, heart, I spy emoji. Right? Like, you're literally scrolling from there. Like, did you see it? Are you gonna reply? Like, please?
Did you even look at it?
Did you even look at the story? Like, I think that's what it is. So maybe not so much like to like the extreme, I guess, that you were saying, but I 100% relate. Like I think because don't you sometimes think when you first start chatting to the guy and they're just like, you're so amazing, you're beautiful, like they're just, it feels too much.
Where do you find them men anyway?
I'm not gonna lie to you, it's typical Caucasian men that come with that energy. I'm not gonna lie to you, but
not wrong.
It is typically it is Caucasian men that are like, you're so beautiful, and I think to me that feels intense and it makes me retract. So really, at the end of the day, I've actually only got myself to blame because
when you're uncomfortable.
I know,
with
I
with
shouldn't
compliments
be.
because of these other situations.
Yeah, I know.